This is Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, your daily recap of the information that affects Iowa's farmers, producers, and consumers right here in the heart of the heartland. With reports from our award-winning team of Dustin Hoffman, Riley Smith, and Mark Magnuson. Now, from the IARN studios in Des Moines, here's Riley Smith.
3, 2, 1. Welcome into Ag Matters PM on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Riley Smith. Today is Friday, February 6th of 2026, and we are so glad you can join us for today's show. In today's episode, I'll be visiting with Iowa Soybean Association President Tom Adam. We'll also have a check of the closing markets with Cory Bratland of agmarket.net. But first, here's that conversation with Tom Adam. I had the chance to visit with him at the Iowa Soybean Association Farm Forward event earlier this week, where we discussed a lot about the 45Z tax credit and what it means for farmers moving forward. And there's a lot going on right now, Tom, about the whole industry and a lot of news coming out, 45Z yesterday. It's very important for these farmers to make their voices heard. And how are they able to do that through the Iowa Soybean Association?
Sure, it's really important to have our voice heard at the both the state and the national level. Right now, the 45Z is finally we've gotten some movement on this through Treasury, and so we hope to keep this as they've proposed it. It looks really good. We now need the RVO confirmed through Congress. That's the next big movement where we really can make a difference with demand for soybeans. And
that picture already is looking so good with that 45Z you mentioned, with the RVO hopefully coming out soon as well. A lot of time to make voices heard. You mentioned that a lot of that guidance does look good for the association. A lot of, I would say, good things to come out from that already. But for the RVOs, we got to have to make sure that these farmers are speaking out and that the industry is well represented, right?
Right. Yeah, we need the RVO to encourage the production, but also we want them to be produced with the 45Z gives guidance on how the tax credits will be arranged. And they will not give tax credits for feedstuffs that come out of anywhere other than North America. And also it gives a lower CI score because they've taken out the indirect land use change, basically doubling the amount of credit that we can get in biofuels credits. So,
and I know it feels like too that a lot of this coming out is more so, I've talked about this on the ethanol side of things, but on biodiesel as well. Farmers are ready for this. They're ready to hit the ground running. They want to see that increase, and now it's just a matter of just getting those things decided, right?
Right. Yeah, we need that certainty in the market. Certainty. We've had so much uncertainty about all these things. And so anything that they come up with, it brings more certainty to the market. They'll give more certainty to cause increased volumes. With increased volumes, you get more soybean meal that can be sent to some of the smaller countries in the world that don't have crush facilities to feed their livestock.
And of course, today, Tom, like I mentioned, we're at the Farm Forward event. A lot of people in attendance, a lot of members here. Plenty of great discussion going on with these sessions. It's great to see, especially for here in Iowa.
Yeah, it's been a good conversations we've had so far. Large crowd. I mean, we got the room filled. We couldn't ask for it any better.
That again was Tom Adam, the president of the Iowa Soybean Association. Had a great time visiting with him at this week's Farm Forward event in downtown Des Moines. We'll take a look now at the closing markets, and for that analysis, I'm here with Cory Bratland of agmarket.net. Cory, it's been a very, very busy week in the ag marketplace as far as market news is concerned. As we end off the week on this Friday, how did the grains do?
Hey, Riley. Yeah, grain markets had a nice, strong start to the day. Soybeans started out last night, trade a little lower, which to be expected after a couple of strong days, Wednesday and Thursday up higher. But then they got rolling. We were up, 24, 25 cents at one point. We're continuing to see there's actually some, I believe there's some talks that China actually purchased some soybeans from the U.S. So there is maybe some belief that they may continue to buy more soybeans here from the U.S. So that's gonna, if they continue on and maybe buy up to the rumor of 8 million metric ton, that's definitely been supporting the beans. Now, later in the day, we started to back off a little bit. So overall in the day, we saw a typical Friday, going into the weekend, some profit taking. I still think, the charts still look pretty good. We're going to end the day, a couple cents higher on beans. Corn, ran into a lot of resistance. I think we saw a lot of selling from the farmer in this 435 on the March contract level. And then that ultimately we saw some profit taking there, and we took the corn down 4 to 5 cents in the day.
And you mentioned with the soybean market, just the simple announcement from President Trump of his conversation with President Xi made the soybean markets leap significantly higher. And like you mentioned, we're seeing a little bit of that maybe come to fruition now. But if just the simple announcement got the markets to jump that high, will continued purchases push it even higher? Is there room for more growth? Or do we think maybe it's been factored in a lot already?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is. I mean, obviously the funds are in here chasing this market. I think we've seen the funds add, 60, 70,000 contracts just this week and really extended their long position. But I think if they continue to buy, and it probably may not be all here, in the next week or two, we may see them take a pause and then buy some beans, for a later shipment, something like July, August timeframe. But regardless, I think, one thing about it, there's a lot of skeptical reasons that maybe they weren't going to buy the 12 million metric ton. They did here this December and in early January. So I think there's decent thought that we could see them buy another 8 million metric ton here. So I think with that said, I think the market would be well supported. We still have got a burdensome global supplies. We've got a really big crop down in South America that's kind of keep a wet blanket on us a little bit. But there definitely could be some room to go up and test these highs that we saw here in late or middle of November here.
And then over on the livestock side of things, how did cattle and hogs trade today to end off the week?
Yeah, they ended higher, a couple bucks higher on the live cattle, 2 to 3 higher on the feeder cattle. We got a lot back from the announcement of the potential strike with JBS, but yesterday that really took the markets down hard. But again, there's no date associated with that, so there's some skepticism out there that will there even be a strike? But overall, they bounced back. Now we did get a announcement that President Trump is looking to quadruple the imports of beef from Argentina, which on the surface on a headline sounds kind of negative, but in the big picture, it's not that much beef anyway. So, but that pulled the market off their highs here today, but still ended up a couple bucks higher on the cattle.
That again was Cory Bratland of agmarket.net. We'll take a look at how the numbers close through the market window at iowaagnet.com.
March corn down 4 3/4 at 4.30 1/4. March soybeans up 3 even at 11.15 1/4. March soybean meal up 40 cents at 303.60. March soybean oil down 32 cents at 55.33. Chicago wheat down 5.5 at 5.29 3/4. Kansas City hard red winter wheat down 7 1/4 at 5.31 1/4. Minneapolis spring wheat down 1.5 at 5.70 even. March oats down 10 even at 3.01 3/4. On the Merc, February live cattle up 250 at 237.75. March feeders up 335 at 367.42. April lean hogs down 42 cents at 97.95. April pork cutout went unchanged at 103.40. And February Class 3 milk down 13 cents at 15.38.
That's been a check in the markets on Ag Matters PM, and that also brings us to the end of today's show. You can find all of our daily ag news content on our website at iowaagnet.com. From the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network studios in Des Moines, I'm Riley Smith. On behalf of Mark Magnuson and Dustin Huffman, we thank you for watching. This has been Ag Matters PM.